We are live in Studio B with your day-to-day BYU sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton alongside Jarom Jordan. Joining us now, former BYU basketball legend, guy who, hey, he had his run in the NBA and then he did some serious work overseas as well. Still has some international ties. He is Travis Hansen with us in Studio B. Welcome, Travis.
What's up?
Mapleton.
One time,
Shout out to all the people in Mapleton.
So one time, I think I've told you the story, but if not, I'll just tell it right now on TV and radio. There's like a baseball and softball parade in Mapleton every year where it's like the kids get in trucks and they go by. And I was just like randomly in front of your house waiting for my daughter to go by. Someone goes, "Oh, is that your house?" And I turn around and I go, "Yes." Yes, it is. So that happened.
That's VIP parking. You can park there every year.
I Venmo you $5.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was 20, but 5 works.
You'll take what you can get from Jarom for sure.
Jaron's a little tight with, okay.
I want to start this interview, aside from parking at your house, with a tweet that you sent out on April 24th, which is fascinating at this juncture because you said, at Travis Hansen 24, if you want to follow him on X, NCAA men's basketball is competing with EuroLeague and NBA. Wow. And then a mind-blown emoji. Never would I have thought this would happen. Amazing and exciting times ahead. Now BYU, we have learned, signs a Euro star, an NBA draft pick, lottery pick projected, that's going to help out Kevin Young in the guard line. Travis, what do you think of this transition that you're seeing with high-level players that are now legitimately considering college because of NIL and otherwise?
It's unbelievable. Like everything about it is, and it changes every day. It seems like, back in 2020, 2021, when Mark Pope came over, NIL was a little bit, that's risky. And why are we paying student athletes? And there's a lot of emotions around why we would pay a student athlete when we haven't before. And it's hard to grasp, hard to get your mind around. And now the transition is, they're going to get compensated and they're going to get paid. And so you saw the transition, and then it became, well, can the NCAA men's basketball, can they compete with the EuroLeague for a lot of talent? And it turned out to be so. I started getting phone calls from people in Europe that were asking me basically to mentor and advise certain talents on their situations. And so we've been working on a few different situations where, and this is not me at BYU, this is me for the kids of their families, and saying, what should we do? Should we stay and play in the EuroLeague, or should we actually come and play in the NCAAs, and what's the American basketball like, and does it help us adapt, and does it really allow us to get ready for the pro game, which we all want to, our dreams are to play in the NBA. And so yeah, it's been interesting last couple months, is in the last 60 days, as you transition from, we're paying some kids some money, and now all of a sudden we're competing with the EuroLeague and possibly the NBA, because you rather play in college than you would in the G League if you're looking at just straight compensation and not development.
Yeah, which is wild. If you're a high-level college player, you're getting paid more than you would in the G League, and the exposure is way better too. Are you a pro and are you not having to take classes? Yes, sure. But for certain one-and-done guys, which BYU anticipates signing a certain Russian here shortly. What role did you play, if any, in the Russia connection there, given that you played in Russia for several years and have great connections?
Yeah, you're talking about Yegor, my guy. Yegor Dinim Vladimir. He's a young Russian 18-year-old that parents played basketball, both of them. They're highly intelligent, really know the game, and he's spent the last few years in an amateur contract at Real Madrid, a club that I played for, and probably passion, iconic, ambition, the top club in all of Europe, and one of the top clubs in the world. And so he's been really well coached. He's been in an incredible system, both academic and basketball-wise. He knows Spanish, he knows English, he knows Russian, and so they contacted me because their parents, obviously knew me from playing in Russia and then from playing in Real Madrid. That should we take on? There's a little window of opportunity before we have to decide whether to re-sign with the Real and a pro contract. Should we test the waters in the NCAA? Would it help us? And so it goes back to when I played at Real Madrid. We had a couple of junior kids on the team, on the junior team, and it was Andres Mirotic, who ended up playing in the Chicago Bulls, and it was a young kid by the name, I don't know if you guys know this name, is Luka Doncic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so
gonna watch him tonight.
Yep, and so Luka had the same thing where he was at Real Madrid playing for a junior team, but he had guys in front of him named Sergio Llull. I don't know if you guys know him, but unbelievable player, and Rudy Fernandez.
Oh, we know Rudy too.
He also had Sergio Rodriguez, who played for Kevin Young in Philadelphia, the 76ers. And so Luka had to wait his turn. And it was hard when you know you can compete and play. And he had a window of opportunity when Sergio Llull tore his ACL. He was actually thinking about signing with the Rockets and ended up tearing his ACL, so he was out of 12, 18 months. And that opened the window for Luka to get playing time for Real Madrid. And he showed immediately that he could play at that level. And then all the college scouts saw and NBA scouts saw, and so he ended up coming over as a lottery pick. So Yegor's in the same situation where he's at Real Madrid, same type of size and skills.
Waiting
For an opportunity, and no one's getting injured. In fact, they're dominating over there in Europe. Real Madrid won the EuroLeague championship last year, and this year they got in the EuroLeague championship again. Unfortunately, they lost to Olympiacos, but they have an incredible team. Veterans that are 10 years older, professionals that know how to play. And so he's had to wait his time. And does he continue to wait and be at one of the top clubs in the world, or does he try his hand at the NCAAs? And so I was part of his team as far as with his family, understanding and getting presentations on from college coaches and the best programs in the nation of what they would do with him if he did come over.
Can you yell at him in Russian still?
Yeah, я говорю по-русски. Yeah, I just WhatsApp him in Russian.
Travis Hansen with us on BYU Sports Nation. Money is clearly an important thing, and to your point, these players are going to be given a nice compensation if you come to the NCAA while you wait for maybe something bigger in Europe or the NBA. So it's this nice middle ground, but you still have to choose a coach and a program that you believe can help you develop into a great professional talent. And I set that up that way because I am inclined to believe that these guys want to play for someone like Kevin Young specifically. A lot of teams will throw money out there, but I believe Kevin's the X factor here, or the Y factor, if you will, for BYU. And getting a guy like this, Travis, what role is Kevin Young playing in getting these guys to Provo?
It's a great question, and it's one that I've been super surprised to watch as, you have like John Calipari in Arkansas presenting to Yegor and his family of what, culturally, system development, how you would fit in Arkansas and how we would utilize you. And then watching Kevin Young present and showcase what he's done with Devin Booker, and whether it's on the ball or off the ball, what he's done with KD. And you could see Yegor almost mentally saying, I don't want to play off the ball. Oh, but if KD did, and if Kevin Young used KD off the ball, okay, I could accept that. If that's the way to play, and if that's the right way to play. And so development-wise, in the presentations, it was shocking how good Kevin Young was. Number one, in the presentation. Number two, how relatable he is, how likable he is, how good he is, how intelligent he is. But then they did back research. Their family's super smart, and they got great people around them, way better than me. And so we reached out to GMs, and we reached out globally to owners of clubs. And was he really going to be an NBA head coach? Yes. Is he really that good? Yes. Is he someone that you would want your son to play for? Absolutely. But on the scale of leaving Real Madrid to come, will he really help him develop? Will he really help him become a professional basketball player and play in the NBA? Undoubtedly. And so it wasn't just nationally the presence of Kevin Young and the reputation of Kevin Young. It was globally that people love him.
That's amazing.
People trust him. And it's hard for a young kid and a young family to have a young Russian boy playing at Real Madrid and make another step over the Atlantic and come here to Utah and Provo. And so they wanted people that they would trust, that would take care of him. So NIL, which makes me even more excited about Yegor, was like second, third, fourth, fifth on the list. It was, I want to play. I want to reach my potential. and I want to reach my dreams. And my dreams, part of my dreams is to play in the NBA. So who can I surround myself? And it's probably not a one and done. Maybe it will be. Gather feedback from GMs, and we'll see what ends up happening after the first year. But through my process, I want to be the best player I can be, and I want to play in the NBA. So whether that's a one and done, whatever that timeline looks like, they're super patient, they're really smart, and Yegor's a phenomenal talent. Like the kid's the real deal.
What else should we know about him or the recruitment?
Yegor is pretty fun. I mean, he's 18, so he just is an amateur contract kid over there. And Real Madrid does not mess around. They go after the top talent, and he's got a couple teammates that can play. Like he's got a couple guys.
There's another lottery pick guy. There's a Gonzaga commit. Yeah.
Yeah, and some others. And so Yegor is 6'9". He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He can shoot it from deep. He can shoot it from three. But he also has the skill set to shoot it from a little bit deeper. He's wiry, strong. Strength training is going to be a big part of having his body grow and get a little bit stronger as you get into that paint and able to hold guys off on your hip, But you can use those shoulders as weapons as well too. I mean, and so what scouts see is the size, the skills, but mainly the IQ to completely destroy a defense. No matter what scheme they throw at you, and you see this with Luka, he's still able to get to his spot. And then it comes down to a read, and then it comes down to whether they make the shot. And whether it's Luka making the shot or Yegor making the shot or making the right pass or making the right read, he has that ability, which is, what Kevin Young loves and what any coach in the world would love. And so he's actually a lot more mature and a lot more advanced IQ-wise of reading the game than I anticipated he would be.
Travis, we need to do this more often. Shall we?
Nah, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. And he only pays me $5.
Yeah.
He only been my.
That's what I can afford.
Yeah,
right
I don't get any love. I'm going to no gear. I come on the show. Where's my sports?
We need to get
stuff?
it. There's a box
got
upstairs
you.
with your name on it. We need to get Travis Hansen one of those boxes.
I'll deliver it.
Now.
Hand delivered.
Take care of that.
I'm excited. I'm excited to rep the Sports Nation
Let's go.
logo.
I still remember a little bit of Russian. Я люблю говорить по-русски.
Oh yeah.
And я люблю basketball.
Yeah. You love basketball. Пока, друг.
Let's go, Travis. Great to have you with us.
Thanks for coming on,
Thank you
man.
so much.
You guys are the best.